came here to yeah, 'cause it goes on and on.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Good afternoon. Oh, is it great to be with you? My goodness. I know you know this, and you've been here for the last few days at the convention, so I know you know this. But you happen to be part of an incredible organization. Do you understand that? I have seen a lot of them, and I've taught and worked with a lot of them, and I can tell you, I have never seen an organization take off like you have taken off. I mean, you are on a rocket ride, aren't you, huh? And it's exciting to be with you and with Nick and Ryan and Blake and the team, and it's just great. And I'm delighted to share with you this afternoon. And what a great group that we have here. Let me get acquainted with you, okay? My name is John. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Margaret and I have been married for 43 years. We have 2 children. We have 5 grandchildren. You are all way too young to know what grandchildren are. You are one, but you haven't had one yet. But let me just explain this to you so when you have grandchildren, you'll understand this. Grandchildren are God's gift to you for not killing your children. Trust me. How many of you have teenagers? You have any teenagers? All right, okay. I just want to speak on behalf of your teenage children. Let them live. Because there are days, aren't there days when shall I let them live? Let them live, because if you let them live, there'll be a day they give you a grandchild. And when they give you a grandchild, you'll hold that baby in your arms, and you'll say, my goodness, this is the smartest, most beautiful baby in the whole world. And nobody has to tell you, you know that. And then you'll ask yourself a question. You'll look at this beautiful grandbaby and you'll say, why did intelligence skip a generation? I was at a large convention speaking, and I told that story, and I forgot my son Joel was in the audience. And so I was done. I walked back to the green room, and he was waiting on me. I mean, he was waiting on me. And I said, Joel, about the grandchildren, that little story, I said, I was just kidding, about intelligence skipping a generation. He said, no, Dad. He said, it's okay. In fact, he said, I think you're right. I said, you do? He said, yeah. I said, I think you're right. He said, in fact, just last week, Grandpa and I had that very same discussion. I brought this with me. I want to read one more quick thing, then we're going to have some fun and learn a lot about leadership today. I turned 65 this year, and you're way too young again to understand this, but I got a long way to go. My dad just turned 91, and my mom just passed away 2 years ago. They were married for 66 years, and but anyway, so I'm going to explain life to you. I love this. I'm going to explain life because we all ask questions about life and how do we fit in and what's our purpose, etc. So on this card here, in fact, it's a very important card. It's laminated. When anything is important, I laminate it. Okay? And I'm going to read this to you, and this will explain life. In fact, look at your neighbor and say, you are about to understand life. Go ahead and tell them that right now. Tell them. All right. In fact, look right back at them and say, and it's about time. Okay. On the first day, God created the dog. God said, sit all day by the door of your house and bark at anybody that comes by. I'll give you a lifespan of 20 years. The dog said, that's too long to be barking. Give me 10 years, I'll give you back the other 10, and God agreed. On the second day, God created a monkey. God said, entertain people, do monkey tricks, make them laugh. I'll give you a 20-year lifespan. The monkey said, how boring. Monkey tricks for 20 years? I don't think so. The dog gave you back 10 years, so that's what I'll do too, okay? And God agreed. On the third day, God created the cow. God said, you must go out in the field with the farmer all day long, suffer under the sun, have calves, give milk to support the farmer. I'm going to give you a lifespan of 60 years. The cow said, that's kind of a tough life. You want me to live for 60 years? Let me have 20. I'll give you back the other 40. God agreed. On the fourth day, God created man. God said, eat, sleep, play, marry, enjoy your life. I'll give you 20 years. Man said, what? Only 20 years? I'll tell you what. I'll take the 10 years that the dog gave you back, and the 10 years that the monkey gave you back, and the 40 years that the cow gave you back. That makes 80 years. Okay, God said, you've got a deal. So that is why the first 20 years of our lives, we eat, sleep, play, enjoy ourselves. For the next 40 years, we slave in the sun to support our family. For the next 10 years, we do monkey tricks to entertain the grandchildren. And for the last 10 years, we sit on the front porch and we bark at everybody that goes by. You've just had life explained to you. I was on the phone. I was up in San Francisco. I was doing some work with Condoleezza Rice, and we were doing some video shoots and things. And yesterday, or I guess it was the day before yesterday, I got on the phone with your leaders, and we talked about this meeting today, this time. And after talking to them and hearing from them, and again, I want to say what a great company you have, what great leaders you have. I know leaders. And I say this I say this with reflection. As I've met your three guys, they are the finest, sharpest young leaders that I have ever met. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's really a fact. And trust me, I meet a lot of leaders, and I hang with a lot of leaders. In fact, I just kind of do that for a living. And I'm looking forward to this year. I was just talking to all three of them back there for a moment, and this year I'm going to have the privilege of spending the year with them in a mentoring relationship. And I'm very excited about that. I am. I'm very excited to be able to pour what I know and what I've learned in my life into them, and they're so good. They're so eager already. So that's fun. So we were talking on the phone, and when I finished talking to them, I did what I do often. I travel, do a lot of speaking, but I literally I just wrote out my lecture. I've never given this before. Okay, I just sat down and I said, I know exactly what I want to teach you. And so it's kind of fresh. It's new. It's not a sugar stick, okay? It's just what I know that I think you need to know that will help you be a better leader, to be more successful, because my desire is to really take you to a whole new level leadership-wise. And so what we're going to do, let's call this teaching, since I've never given it before, let's call this teaching the Rule of 5 for leading. The Rule of 5 for leading. And in a moment, I'm going to explain to you how the Rule of 5 works, which is in itself tremendously life-changing. But what I'm going to do today is I sat down. I was up in San Francisco doing some writing for the last 2 days on another book. And I sat down and I wrote this out. And I want to give this to you.